Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? Then we had the Obama administration. Wonderful, wonderful person. Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? We had the Obama administration, which phased out this wonderful tradition of physical fitness. Thank you, Barack, very much. Great job.
Can we just take a minute and talk about how cool President Obama is, right? Can we just talk about how cool he is? And this is why Trump hates him. This moment right here is exactly why Trump hates him. Do you know how many unlikely variables goes into the President of the United States, ex-President of the United States, sitting courtside? Sitting courtside. The ball flies in his direction. Instead of being whack as shit and knocking it off, he catches the ball. Hands the ball back to the player. Gets up, dabs up the player. And then is sitting there with his wife. Looking and smelling like cocoa butter. Like the amount of unlikely variables. Trump could never be this person. And that is why he's always mad. Now, I'm sure because he's a racist bigot. But the fact is, this is an educated, black, smart man. Graceful, loving, beloved by everybody, and celebrated everywhere he goes. Everywhere Trump goes, he gets booed. This man made a Kodak moment in 1 second because he is just that wonderful.
Rival disappear after the competition end. Other never leave each other mind. Think about it for a second. One man left the White House years ago. The other followed him into the most powerful office on earth. Yet somehow, years later, the same name keep coming up over and over again. Obama, Obama in speeches, Obama in interviews, Obama in rallies, Obama in headlines. The question many people keep asking is simply, why? Why does Obama continue to dominate political conversation long after leaving office? Why do comparison between Trump and Obama seems impossible to escape? And why do millions of Americans still passionately debate the legacy of these two presidents? The internet has been buzzing with theories. Some believe it's about politics, others believe it's about legacy, and some argue it's because Obama Trump represent two completely different versions of America. No matter where you stand politically, one thing is impossible to ignore. Whenever Trump's name is mentioned, Obama alone isn't far behind. And whenever Obama's legacy is discussed, Trump supporters and critics quickly enter the conversation. But trust me, stay until the end because the reaction clip we are about to show are absolutely incredible. Some of them are hilarious, some are shocking, and some reveal exactly why the Obama fashion Trump versus Trump conversation continues to dominate social media and political discussion around the world. Because this isn't just a story about Trump, and it isn't just a story about Obama. It's a story about influence, legacy, power, and why one political rivalry refuses to die.
When we lose faith in each other, when we stop believing that voting matters, that citizenship matters, that our collective voices matter, that how we treat each other no longer matters, then we give away our power to decide our own futures. We open the door to the most ruthless, or the most careless, or the most fearful among us, who see some groups and some people as more equal than others, and see government as nothing more than a way to divvy up the spoils and punish enemies and keep those who are different in their place. I do not believe that is the story of America that prevails in the end. I don't believe it because for us to give up, for us to give in now, after all this country's been through, to cynicism and division would be a betrayal of our founding ideas, a betrayal of our faith. And I remain convinced that the overwhelming majority of Americans feel the same way. That as unsettled as we are, people aren't looking for perpetual anger and division. They are looking for fairness and common sense and mutual respect. That deep in our gut, we want to find a way to turn towards each other again, not further away.
I just wanted to point out that we had a black man as our president for 8 years, and not one of us racists tried to the guy.
I mean, technically, you're correct. It's not one, it's many. Do you remember this one, for example? Does this one tell you nothing? What about this little event over here? That's inconsequential. That never happened, right? And I'm sure you've forgotten about this one because, black president and all. Or this one, for example. You conveniently forgot or didn't research about this one. This is clearly a case of, let's call it, selective understanding of reality. In fact, did you know that Barack Obama is the president that was the recipient of the most credible threats against him than any other president in the history of our country? You probably didn't, because you didn't do any research. You simply took a meme that you found online and just ran with it. So while any aggression towards any president of the United States is despicable and must be rejected, I find it fascinating how some people live in an ideological bubble that rejects any understanding of reality and focuses on just what they want to hear. I think they call it a cult, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey everybody. So I was thinking today, maybe you've noticed that if anything goes wrong in Donald Trump's world, he blames somebody else. Usually Joe Biden. Or if not Joe Biden, then Barack Obama. Why? Because he is so jealous of Barack Obama, who ran the country for 8 years with no scandals, got shit done, made big bills like the ACA, and got them passed through Congress. What has Trump done for us? He passed a bill to give tax cuts to billionaires and take away Medicaid, and Medicare from many people. That's what he did. He's making a bill that will close down hospitals and nursing homes. It's just, he is just incredibly bad. And if you voted for him and you can't see how bad he is, I don't know what to tell you. It's a cult. Trump is not a conservative. We've had conservative presidents before. Trump is all for Trump. It's almost like they're allowing him to do the graft just to keep him interested in being president. He's stealing more money, him and his family, from the government than any other president ever, including Harding from way back when. The idea that Trump needs, to have his taxes never get audited and his family's taxes never get audited is because he's doing stuff he doesn't want us to ever see. And Todd Blanche is working hand in glove with Trump to protect him in the future and protect his family. I don't know how much money he's getting for this in the long run, but I bet there's some money involved here. He was his personal lawyer, and he's acting as his personal lawyer now. Today, I guess he said that he won't release any more of the Epstein files, even though there's a law that they be released. He is covering up for Donald Trump beyond a doubt. He went to visit Maxwell and moved her to another prison to keep her quiet about Donald Trump because she knows things. Trust me. And if you look at the evidence that has been released, there were accusations against Donald Trump from women who at the time were like 13 or 14, and the FBI interviewed that woman 4 or 5 times, which you don't do if you don't think it's a credible thing that they're saying. But to me, I just think Donald Trump knows in the history books he will never be the president that Barack Obama was. Barack Obama brought a little bit of Camelot back to the White House. He was young, he had a beautiful family, he had a active wife who did a lot of stuff to help the country, from like the exercising things to the food things. She was everywhere. Where's Melania? The only time we hear from her is when she's saying, I didn't know that Jeffrey Epstein man. We met at a party. He didn't give me to Donald Trump. Who knows, but I have my doubts about the whole thing. But Joe Biden and Barack Obama were twice the presidents, maybe 100% more the presidents that Donald Trump can ever be. Donald Trump is a zero. Everybody else that's been a president has at least done or tried to do something. The only person Donald Trump is trying to help is himself.
So President Obama's library is set to open on Juneteenth. And of course, Donald Trump is just so obsessed with Obama. He had to demonize the project altogether. So, it was built over budget and the design is jacked up and I would have got a better deal on this and I would have done this better and I'd have done this better. Obama's just a stupid person. He doesn't know how to do business. This coming from the same guy who said that this useless ballroom that he's been building was going to be completely privately funded. And it was only going to cost $200 million. Then that price skyrocketed to $400 million. Then that price went to $600 million, then $800 million. Now we're over $1 trillion for this ballroom that he said was going to be built by private funds and wasn't going to cost the taxpayer any money. Now he's demanding that Congress give him taxpayer dollars to build this ballroom that he believes the world needs and all of the presidents before him wanted but weren't brave enough to build. They weren't brave enough to tear down the East Wing to build this ballroom. Why do you need such a massive ballroom? And the fact that you're building this ballroom, saying that we need it because there's been multiple assassination attempts on my life, are you saying that that's the only place that you're going to be celebrating? Is that the only place that you're going to be seen with the public? Because if not, then there's no point in having this ballroom. Because if you're still going to go out to dinners in other places that don't have bulletproof glass, if you're still going to go golfing every freaking weekend on a taxpayer dollar, then this ballroom still does not make any sense. The cost of it skyrocketed over $1 trillion makes no sense. But you have to demonize President Obama and his presidential library. Yeah, that tracks.
At this point, it's giving obsessed. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. So at this point, we are all well aware of President Trump's Truth Social post about the Obamas yet again during Black History Month. And it's really not giving political anymore. It's more like obsessive. Barack Obama has been out of the office for years, and yet President Trump keeps circling his name like he's stuck in 2009. That is not a coincidence. That's fixation. You see, Obama represents everything racists in America hate but can't deny. A black man was elected twice with no scandals, who's highly educated, who's also globally respected, is a faithful husband with a stable family, who's calm, articulate, and professionally unbothered. And that alone was enough to break white people. So let's talk about facts. Under Obama, the economy recovered from a 2008 crash. Unemployment dropped to historic lows. Millions gained health care through the Affordable Care Act. The auto industry was saved, student loan access expanded, and America's global reputation had improved. Yet notice how President Trump never critiques his policies. He always attacks his personhood. Because the issue was never what Obama did. The issue was that he did this while being black. That same obsession gets projected onto black people in America every single day. Despite all of the redlining, mass incarcerations, voter suppression, underfunded schools, and employment discrimination, so on and so forth, black Americans continue to build wealth, create culture, lead movements, innovate industries, and redefine success on our own terms. That kind of success is threatening to people whose identity depends on being above someone else. So when Trump brings up the Obamas during Black History Month, it's not accidental. It's just resentment. America chose a black family over him twice, and no true social rent will ever change that. Obama lives rent-free in this man's mind. And black excellence lives rent-free in America. Happy Black History Month.
What do you mean Obama made a comment about Israel and then said, well, this is kind of on all of you? What did he say? Blood is on all your hands in this. Talking to U.S. citizens who paid their taxes. Barack Drone Obama, look me in my goddamn face right now. So because I paid my taxes, and then later after I do that, your good old buddy, your best friend is like, by the way, I used your tax money for this. That's on my hands. My tax money directly contributed to genocide. You want to tell me, well, blood is on all your hands. There was no party agreement for that. I have a cheetah print flat iron. I have Mickey Mouse ears in my room. Babe, do you think I had any say in this? Why would I have any say, any decision? You think let's go to Capitol Hill today. Joe, I think you should use the tax money. Where is that realistic? I am some 20-something in California. So because I paid my taxes, I'm part of You cannot be serious. You can't. Oh my god, my insides are shaking. I'm getting so angry. Brock, I feel like you know how angry, upset, hurt citizens are that their tax money directly contributed to genocide. And now you want to gaslight us and be like, you paid your taxes that year. Was I supposed to look into a crystal ball and be like, guys, do not pay your taxes this year because they're going to use it for this? How would that work?
Political history is filled with rivalries. Some are forgotten shortly after election end. Others continue shaping public conversation for years. The relationship between Trump and Obama is one of those rare rivalries that seems to have a life of its own. Both men changed American politics in dramatically different ways. Obama became a historic figure whose presidency inspired supporters around the world. Trump disrupted traditional politics and built one of the most loyal political movements in modern American history. Because of that, comparison between Obama and Trump are almost unavoidable. Supporters of Obama often point to his communication style, international popularity, and historic achievement. Trump supporters frequently point to his willingness to challenge political norms and his impact on the Republican Party. As a result, discussion involving one leader often quickly become discussion about the other. One analysis argued that political leaders are often measured against their predecessor. Others believe the continuous comparison exists because both men symbolize different political eras and competing versions of American future. That's why debates surrounding Trump and Obama remain so emotional. For many Americans, these conversations are about more than politics. They are about identity, value, leadership, and the direction of the country. As you watch the reaction clip throughout this video, pay attention to how passionate people become when discussing these two figures, because the reaction themselves help explain why this rivalry continues attracting millions of views online. Years may pass, administration may change, but the Obama-Trump debate continues to capture public attention in way few political rivalries ever have.
So the self-proclaimed stable genius Donald Trump may have just roasted himself again. Because Trump reportedly said that a doctor told him that he is healthier than Obama by far. And honestly, every time Trump makes these comparisons, he somehow ends up making himself look worse. Every time. Because think about who he chose to compare himself against. Barack Obama, a guy more than a decade younger, known for playing basketball regularly, working out constantly, doing cardio or strength training almost daily, and generally projecting an active lifestyle in public for years. So when Trump says he's healthier by far, most people don't hear confidence. They hear, please compare us. And that's where this gets physiologically fascinating. Because Trump constantly compares himself to other presidents. Obama, Biden, Bush, sometimes even Lincoln somehow. But the more he does it, the more he invites people to directly analyze the differences. And once people start comparing fitness, speech, energy, public appearance, lifestyle, physical activity, discipline, the conversation often stops helping him. Now, obviously, public image doesn't equal actual medical condition. And Trump's supporters are now down to saying that he has always exaggerated and used bravado, meaning even they know he's full of shit. That's true, but politically, these statements matter because they reveal something deeper. Trump's communication style. He doesn't want to just be seen as successful. He wants dominance, superiority. The strongest, the smartest, the healthiest, the best at everything in the room. And the only thing he is the most full of shit. And that style works incredibly well for supporters who view confidence as strength and leadership. But critics say that it often creates the opposite effect. Because when someone constantly insists that they're stronger, healthier, smarter, richer, and better than everyone else, eventually people start scrutinizing that claim instead of just admiring it. And honestly, that's exactly what keeps happening. Every comparison becomes an invitation for the public to fact-check the image against reality. And in the social media era, that shit spreads fast. Which raises the bigger question. Is Trump's constant comparison actually a political strategy? Or insecurity disguised as confidence? Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow me for more.
Remember this outfit that Donald Trump just wore? You won't ever guess who he got the idea from. That's right, the guy he's obsessed with, Barack Obama. So tell me, who do you think wore it better? The best president in modern day history? Or Piggy?
How do you think that the Supreme Court's ruling that benefited you on presidential immunity would apply to former President Barack Obama and what you're accusing him of doing?
It probably helps him a lot. Probably helps him a lot, the immunity ruling. But it doesn't help the people around him at all. But it probably helps him a lot. He's done criminal acts, there's no question about it. But he has immunity, and it probably helps him a lot. He owes to be big.
If Trump could nestle on Barack Obama's ball sack, he would. If he could sit in Barack Obama's crotch and smile in his face and look at him like this, he would. You're obsessed, my boy. You're obsessed. And MAGA's obsessed too. Duh. We knew that the new presidential immunity standard that they ruled on was applicable to Obama. You are deflecting. You're deflecting. You're deflecting everything you are fucking doing. Every accusation is a projection. Every accusation is a projection. You know what we need to do? We need to get Obama, Gavin Newsom, and Trudeau together and put them somewhere and let them cross paths with Trump. Or let them just talk about Trump and mention his name. He'll probably ejaculate all over the Oval Office. Oh, happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. You know what infuriates me most about MAGA? It's the general lack of basic understanding of the law, of facts, and how this country works. The only reason you think that there's an Obama cult is because you're a part of Donald Trump's cult called MAGA, and you guys believe him without questioning anything. And he's only obsessed with Obama because Obama is everything he's not. People willingly voted for Obama twice because Obama was a beloved president. Even those people who didn't vote for Obama ended up liking Obama in the end because of the way he represented this country and us as a people. Your boy is also obsessed because Obama is tall, fit, good looking, has swag, can play sports, has women. Naturally, women are attracted to him. Babies like him, people like him, boys wanted to be him. All the attributes that Donald Trump doesn't have, including thin ankles and including a physique. But hey, the president said out loud with his own lips, whenever things get too crazy or reporters ask you questions, just talk about Obama.
You should mention that every time they give you a question that's not appropriate. Just say, oh, by the way, Obama cheated on the election. You'll watch the camera turn off instantly.
Didn't stop there, because last week, not only as a sitting president did he disrespect another former president who's still alive, which no president does, whether you like him or not, he posted an AI video of Barack Obama getting arrested. Even if it was a crime, according to Donnie in the Supreme Court, presidents now have immunity over anything done as when they're presidents. But you guys don't know that, do you? You don't know that, do you? So once again, my boy, I want you to ask yourself, are you jealous of Barack Obama the same reason Donald Trump is jealous of Barack Obama? Because a black non-white man had the world that loved him, the country that loved him, is fit, is no scandal, is smart, is a lawyer, is overly qualified for the position. Until this day, he's still more beloved than 47 and 45. And he's not orange.
And that's on periods.
I can show you better than I can tell you. Because what in the caucasity? Let me just read it for you. Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. Patrick Rodenbush, a spokesman for President Obama, said in a statement in response to Mr. Trump's claims, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. Mr. Rodenbush continued, these bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. So this statement comes on the heels of yet another tantrum of Donald Trump a few days ago. Donald Trump accuses yet again President Obama of something else. This time it's treason, and he's calling for President Obama's arrest. Let's be real. Donald Trump's obsession with President Obama needs to be studied because it's baffling to me. Obama hasn't held office since 2016, almost 10 years ago, and yet Trump remains fixated. Baby, but let's be clear. He knows exactly what he's doing. By constantly invoking Obama's name, Trump is playing to his MAGA base, and we know from many white supremacists and racists who support him, demonizing a black man, especially a dignified, accomplished former president, feeds into their deepest biases. So it's not random. It's strategic. And we know that whenever Trump is under fire, whether it's these Epstein files, his mounting legal issues, or his long-standing list of scandals, baby, he pulls out the same playbook. Distract and deflect by dragging Obama's name in the spotlight. Baby, it's a tired tactic. And yet, for this MAGA base, it works. The irony, though, is that Obama continues to live rent-free in Trump's mind. President Barack Obama has gone on to mind his black business, and poor Trump cannot move on. It's crazy. Y'all drink your water. Stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable, and mind your black business. Happy Black History 365, and I'll see you next time.
Here's why President Trump is so obsessed with former President Obama. Hey everybody, Rich here at Leaving MAGA at leavingmaga.org. By now you've almost certainly seen the story about the president retruthing a video that shows the Obamas as apes, utilizing a racist trope that dates back centuries, actually. And I see a lot of commentary online about how much Trump hates the Obamas, especially Barack Obama. And I have to say that I actually don't think that it's hatred. I think it's actually far worse. I think it's a combination of envy and rage. And I think that when someone is as envious as Trump is of Obama and as rageful as he is of Obama, it causes one to debase his own integrity and to dehumanize, vilify, and demonize another. And while I have publicly in the past, after leaving MAGA, expressed my admiration for former President Obama and his wife, I think it's actually quite remarkable that they've shown the restraint to not publicly comment about this racist video that Trump posted. And I think it shows that unlike the president himself, the Obamas are quite comfortable in their own skin. So having said all of that, if there was ever any doubt about Trump's racism, this video puts all of that to rest. Make sure you're following us at our socials. Make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter, all of which you can do at leavingmaga.org. As always, appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for your support, everyone.
You don't too much say Michelle, but he does a lot of time. He spends a lot of time talking about Barack Obama. He's preoccupied with Barack Obama. I mean, it's like he's obsessed with Barack Obama. All day, every day. That's all he talks about is Barack Obama, somebody who ain't been president for 10 years. Barack then went on and lived his life. He got things going on. He, making moves and being celebrated and being welcomed into buildings and people cheering when he walk into the buildings instead of getting booed. He going to a basketball game, football game, anywhere, and people just, the cheers just ring out. And Trump don't like, see what it is Trump is jealous of Barack.
At the end of the day, perhaps the real reason people remain fascinated by Trump and Obama is because they represent something larger than themselves. They represent competing ideas, competing fashion, competing leadership style, and competing interpretation of American past, present, and future. Whether someone supports Trump, Obama, or neither, there is no denying the influence both men have had on American politics. Few political figures continue generating headlines year after leaving office. Yet both Trump and Obama remain center figure in conversation taking place across television, podcasts, social media platforms, and community throughout the country. That's why discussion about why Trump talks about Obama or why Obama continues appearing in political debates remains so popular. This conversation taps into larger questions about leadership, legacy, and historical impacts. History often remembered leaders not only for what they accomplished, but also for the conversation they inspire. By that measure, both Trump and Obama have already secured this place in modern political history. And perhaps that's the biggest takeaway from this story. The rivalry isn't just about two men, it's about ideas, it's about influence, and it's about how history will ultimately remember one of the most discussed political era in modern America. Before I end this video, I want to sincerely thank every single one of you watching right now, whether you have been supporting this channel from day one or this is your first time stopping by. I appreciate you more than you know. Every view, every like, every comment, and every share, and every thoughtful discussion help this community continue to grow stronger every single day. You are the reason this channel exists, and I never take your support for granted. Now I want to hear from you. Why do you think the Trump and Obama rivalry continue dominating themselves conversation years later? Do you think it's about policy, personality, legacy, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comment below because I genuinely want to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Watch all the reaction clips, share this video with your friends and family, join the conversation below, and help us continue building one of the strongest community on YouTube. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will see you all in my next video.